You're listening to Mammal After Dark with MADCAST.
I have sex with a dwarf.
Hello?
I have sex with a dwarf.
Yes, thank you.
I have sex with a dwarf.
Hello?
Hi.
And welcome to another installment of Mammal After Dark, where demonic possession is 9/10 of the law. I'm your host, the Dark Mammal, and tonight I think we're gonna do scary stories. We got the Wombat. Hello, Wombat.
Good afternoon.
We have the Ether Otter. Hello, Ether Otter.
Yes, hi, thank you.
And we have the Juice. Legendary. Hello, Juice.
Go fuck yourself.
He's angry today. He's mad at me all day today because I took him to this lost island of dead people, and I don't know. He was bitter about it.
Blew up my boat.
That was awesome. I told him to go to this island on this video game, and it's all like lost. Like if you get close to it with a plane or a boat or something, your shit will explode.
Nice.
He got stranded on an island. And that island's like miles away from like the.
He's all having fun with planes, blowing them up.
I'm at the airport.
People. I'm like, gee, I wonder if I could climb this fucking tree.
And I'm all like, I'm getting attacked by a helicopter! Run! Oh my god, this thing's exploding! Oh my god, get out of the way! Oh my god, shit's blowing up!
Then I did find one helicopter. Some motherfucker comes in, drives off, takes it, flies off, and I'm like, what the fuck?
He's supposed to come pick me up too. I was all waiting for him. I was like, where you at, Juice? I was like, I got a helicopter, all happy. And then somebody steals it from him and kills him in the process.
That's beat.
Oh, man. This game is called Just Cause 2 for all you folks. It's multiplayer. It's out now, so I highly suggest you play it and kill people. And you watch people complain. He's killing everybody. He's so violent.
Well, hey.
So what's going on? Anybody?
Oh, not much. Nothing. Almost wasn't here today.
We are an interesting bunch of people.
Sorry.
Everybody's on trade.
I decided to move my computer 10 feet from one room to the other so I could have some air conditioning while I was chilling. But,
so you hear the whoop 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 sound on the thing?
No more fan blowing in my face, so you're not going to hear the whoop whoop, whatever the hell you could hear. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It sounded like a storm. It was all good.
Nice. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, I did that and fucking finally just got it all set up. Oh, goodness.
What about you, Steve? What you been doing?
Get out.
I know what Juice has been doing, but tell the people, tell your fans what you've been doing. I bet Juice is gonna get a lot of fans.
What?
You're gonna get fan mail, and you're gonna get little 13-year-olds wanting to hook up with you.
Can I get hate mail?
I'm gonna get hate mail for sure. I always get hate mail. Yeah,
I had an interesting idea for, kind of, how about like an anti-social networking site? for people like myself.
Yeah, like people like me. Like it would be so empty.
I just hate, you could just leave, instead of groups of friends, it's assholes. And,
groups of dicks.
Yeah, assholes, dicks, bitches. So you have these groups, and instead of fucking, sharing pictures and shit, you can just, tell people to fuck off.
Send people pictures of your shits.
Yeah, exactly. Pictures of your junk. Yeah, whatever. Just an idea. I don't know.
Sounds like a porn site. There would be.
Well, yeah.
Well, would you get mad if I put you in the cunts category?
Oh, hell no.
Cunts. That could be a soup team. C-U-N-T. C-U-N-T-S. Cunts. Whatever it could stand for something. But yeah, for most week I've been fighting with a 13-year-old on YouTube. I didn't know it was a girl at first, and so that changed the ballgame completely. But at first it was like I got on some site and saw some girl go from pretty to butch in like 6 years. You know those videos that they show like my life in like 6 years or whatever, or take a picture every day for like 6 years to see the progression of the person. Well, I got on there and I saw this girl and I saw her change her hairstyle and her appearance like constantly throughout the entire time. Like not one picture was the same as the other. So I just typed, I used to have a identity crisis too, or whatever, trying to sympathize. Oh my God, I got so much shit for that. It was ridiculous. All these little girls showing up. The girl can do whatever she wants and blah.
You weren't trying to sympathize. You were baiting. You were baiting them.
Well,
mass debating. Ha.
Well, okay. Even if I wasn't expecting that kind of reaction. That was like pretty hostile. These girls are all up in arms now. They're all joining forces and holding candles and singing
They're
Kumbaya.
women. What do you expect?
They're all down with
One of them is possibly a lesbian. You can't get any more angrier than an angry lesbian.
Oh, man, talk about angry. Those people are intensely upset.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry that even happened. But
everybody likes to think lesbians are all,
hot
and
no, yeah, I've seen some pretty
fun time.
Now,
times.
I have seen some pretty hot ones. Me and Steve actually partied with a couple. I think they were attractive. Well, I was just going through the pictures. They were fairly attractive.
They were hot.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Here's what happened.
We didn't know they were lesbians, but yeah, you can tell the story, Steve. You know more of it. I was completely wasted.
Yeah, well, so was I, but I do remember some of it. We Matt's friend Josh came down to Louisiana. We all went to New Orleans, and me and Matt were just we went to happy hour on Bourbon Street, and the drinks were like the size of McDonald's supersized cups, and they when the lady started pouring, I think I went up and ordered like 3 Jack and Cokes or something like that just for everybody.
God, yeah.
The things were like 99% Jack Daniels and like a splash of Coke at the end. So I don't know, after like 5 or 6 of them, anyway, we were doing Hooter shooters and we were doing drinks and all kinds of stuff like that. So there's this 2 girls sitting close to us, and there's poor Josh. He's got nobody. So me and Mac got the waitress, and we're like, hey, get those girls whatever they want to drink. We'll pay for it, but just say it's from this guy over here. So all night long, like, we're buying these girls drinks. They drank for free on us all night, and they're thinking it's from this Josh kid, right? So a little while later, he's had a few, and he's like, man, those 2 girls over there keep staring at me. And we're like, I know, you should go talk to them, man. They look pretty hot. So he wanders over there. He's over there for like 2 minutes, and he comes back, and his head's all like hanging down. We're like, what's wrong, man? He goes, they're lesbians, man. He goes, they're in New Orleans to get married. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, well, we've been buying them drinks all night, saying it was from you. He's like, that's why they were staring at me. And he felt even worse about himself.
Damn.
But they came over to party with us, and they were like in love with my girlfriend. They were making Kimberly sandwiches and stuff.
God. Yeah, I was just yeah.
And so like Matt takes my camera and takes pictures of like girls' asses all night. Yeah. So like every time when I got the film developed, I got punched like 10 times. Why are you taking all these pictures? I'm like, I didn't.
That's badass. Yeah, Matt did that to me too one time. But I escaped death. It was crazy. I could have got killed twice by her boyfriend and by her, but it all worked out.
Yeah, I seem to forget certain stuff. I get just like blackout fucking drunk, and yeah, me and Steve apparently beat the shit out of one another in the middle of Bourbon Street, and I still don't remember a damn thing about it.
I will never get tired of that story.
I remember how sore I was the next day. My knee was my whole knee, like my whole knee area was just purple.
Can't believe you guys beat each other.
Pictures of that.
Yeah.
It's just fucking crazy vibes there. I would have been all fucked up too. Just trying to stop you guys.
Yeah.
Fuck him! No, fuck you! No, fuck you! Get the fuck in your quarters. And then I would have gone to jail for manhandling people and shit, and it just wouldn't have been right. And then we wouldn't be here today, having this delightful conversation.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
Oh, juice.
Yeah, I think Kim was trying to get asking Josh to break it up or something. He's like, "Fuck that."
Yeah. The best was like when I was already in the hotel because the cops told us we had like 30 seconds to get off the street. So you were like, you called me from your cell phone to tell me to fuck off, that I could find my own ride home. And then you guys took your car to the parking area that you had it in, made it like a city block, and had to pay another $25 to park in that one because you knew you couldn't drive.
Yeah. I can't believe I drove a fucking block.
And then you guys called like, hey, can you come pay for our room? We're out of money.
Yeah. Yep.
So he calls you up, cusses you out, tells you you're gonna walk home, and then he calls you later, goes, and then he asks for money.
Well, no, Josh asked for money because Matt was passed out in the lobby of the hotel.
I thought it was Matt asking for money.
No, I was, yeah.
That would have been freaking hilarious. Hey, I know I said bad things, but can I borrow a couple bucks?
Then we had to carry you to your room, man. And you're not light when you're dead weight like that.
Yeah.
That was pretty rough.
Oh, man. I can imagine. Well, we can either talk about ghost stories, or we had a topic that everybody was going off on the other day on slavery. We want to talk about that.
I can reveal. We can all reveal a secret if we want to.
Secret.
Well, it's not really. It's not secret for very much longer, man. But it's probably not that interesting. But it affects my life a little bit. So I thought I'd share it with you guys first because my family doesn't know yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm joining the National Guard.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Nice.
Well, it's.
I thought you were going to say you were gay.
I know. I was waiting for it.
No, that's my secret. Ah.
Wishful thinking, man.
That really wasn't a secret.
Yeah, I know.
Don't cry, dude. So, did you already sign up, or what the deuce?
No, I didn't yet, but I'm debating because like first of all, they're going to pay back this one student loan that I took out, which would be great, and they're willing to pay for school I'm in so I can get my master's. But I'm so close to graduating, I'm kind of debating on whether I should go to OCS or not. The only problem with OCS is that it's a longer commitment, and I don't know that I'm really ready for a long commitment.
Yeah, but it would be awesome to see people salute you. And then you could still get on the show and talk about how you mess with people.
Yeah, but
face and say, "Don't you know how to salute?"
Sniper check.
It's more fun. It's more fun making people stand up, parade rest, and do push-ups, though.
Yeah, but I got reamed so many times for not saluting people. It's just embarrassing, especially when you can't see the rank and they just pass you.
Man, I got that real bad in Korea because there was an officer walking by. Like, he's on the same side of the sidewalk as us and everything. Like, there's no reason we should have missed him. We were coming back from I think it was ACAP or something like that, but there was a female soldier, and she was wearing, like, next to nothing, man, like some tight black shorts that went all the way up to her junk, and I'm just like, we're just kind of, like, totally eyeballing her when she walks by, and all of a sudden, like behind us we hear, excuse me, specialists? And we turn around, there's just like Captain. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, they really like to rub your rank in, don't they?
Sorry, sir. I'm thinking I don't want to go back into Signal though. I'd like to do like some MI or some MP.
You'd make a good MP.
Or maybe like some PSYOPs.
You can pull people over and say, you don't drive in my street going 35 miles an hour. Speed limit's 30, it's busted.
Start racial profiling everybody.
I pulled you over because you're Puerto Rican.
You're driving while Mexican.
There's no Mexicans in the Army. It was just me and some other guy. Everybody else was Puerto Rican. And then the other guy
there was a couple, because when I was in jail, I was Mexican by association. I hung out with like 6 different Mexicans.
That's where they all went.
They all went to jail.
Biggers.
I got that card from Joe while we were in.
It was just Hector and Luis.
NBA card.
Luis. Ramiro.
Aramillo? Yeah, actually, that was one of them. Aramillo. Jaramillo.
Jaramillo.
Yep. Basically William, but Aramillo.
Come, Big Willie.
Yep. We called him Bill. It was just kind of funny. You know, he was
Bill.
Just straight up Mexican. Yo, Bill.
Mexican name. Orale, ¿qué onda? The Mexican name.
Orale, Bill.
Orale,
Bill. Yes.
All right,
that's where I learned how to play. Well, I already knew how to play, but I perfected my spades game.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about your fiddle.
That too.
Dominoes.
Yes, domino. Oh, we did play some bones. I was more into spades, but
I hated playing that game.
Me too. I was so good at it. It was the most boring shit because it's like every time we start to play dominoes or something like that, Pharaoh would always be like, "Come on, let's play some spades," and you're like, "Ugh."
And then the guy in front of you, whoever your partner is, gets all shit mad at you because you like did something you weren't.
I used to fuck up on purpose to get Jennifer mad at me. Like we'd have all, maybe it was euchre. It was one of those games where you're supposed to pick up a card or like kind of.
Or tap or some shit. I don't
Something,
remember.
but like if I had like all red cards in my hand and then there's like one black one, I'd pick up the black one and she'd look across at me like, all we have is red cards in our hands. Why did you do that? And I'm just like, because I don't care and I want this over with quick. I don't want to play this. Let's get on to dominoes because we could like domino games were intense. The people we played with were intense. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, they would slam the fuck out of the table. Scare
not just
the fuck
that,
out of me
man,
while I was drawing.
If you beat somebody, like they had to like sign the paper and then they had to write your letters if they never got on the board. We used to play like all the time. Like I got letters from Massey, from Lerp, from man, just about everybody. Like I saved them too. Like
And
if you did, and then
Say that ended short.
I know, it gets all quiet. I'm all okay.
And then,
that was it.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell a scary story since you guys want to talk about dominoes.
sorry. Go ahead. Fine.
Those aren't scary.
I have to find something scary.
Those aren't scary.
Top of you.
All right, first Steve's got to talk about his feet.
My
He
feet.
was supposed to talk about his feet last week, but he didn't. So this is on
like
the
how he
agenda.
really hates wearing sandals all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we decided we're going to make your icon a guy wearing sandals
Is that why I figured you
All
had
the
your hand
time.
in that somehow?
all the time. I didn't know you didn't know you didn't. Hold on, let me speak to you.
Man,
I didn't know that you didn't like to wear sandals.
I don't
You-
like any feet. Period. Like I took public speaking in college, my first stint in college, like before the Army, and for the first speech that we had to give, it was like 5 minutes long, and we had to give it on a pet peeve or something that we hated a lot. I give it on feet. Like that's the only thing I hate about summers is that like people all want to wear flip flops and sandals and shit that were there. Like no, listen, flip flops. If you're wearing flip flops, you should not be served in a restaurant. You should not be allowed in a store because that little piece of plastic between your toes isn't protecting anything from germs. Is not protecting your nasty like yellow crusty toenails or green or anything else. Like nobody wants to see feet. And these chicks that are all like, oh, I'm gonna put a toe ring on so you can draw more attention to my ugly feet. Like cover them up. Because I got to tell you right now, if I had a restaurant or a store and one of these fuckers came in with sandals or a flip flops, I'd be like, I'm sorry, we can't serve you. Well, I got shoes. I know you don't. Your feet need to be covered in socks or get out of my store or restaurant. I will not serve you. I'd rather have dogs in a store. I'd rather have dogs in a restaurant, like sitting right at the table, than eating with their nasty feet hanging out. It disgusts me.
You're a pedophobe.
And then you fucking put me in sandals in the cartoon.
I don't think he's a phobe.
Not a phobe, I just hate him. Messaging you the other day to see if like maybe we could change that before this week. Like I was trying to like, hey, did you draw the cartoon? And like you didn't answer me. I'm like, all right, I'll ask him sometime. But
He pretty much said, fuck you.
yeah,
I didn't know you had like an anti-foot fetish.
Oh, this is going to be great.
You know, right now I'm just kind of the way the rage that you had in your voice there.
That's what makes him good.
You completely like most people that have that rage in their voice are in front of abortion clinics.
No fucking flip-flops.
You're in front of foot doctors with like picketing signs.
They're going to fuck
Fuck your feet, bitches.
We'll sneak it in. Watch. One day.
DPM my ass.
Now
I know-
know what to say for your birthday.
see, and now I know you're gonna put me in like you're gonna give me Barney Rubble feet in that cartoon, but I don't care. Like I'll just I'll save my picture.
Frodo feet.
And yep. I'm gonna be like Fred Flintstone feet, man.
Nice.
Dabba dabba doo.
But they gotta be like Frodo hairy.
Yellow toenails.
I'll make the picture all HD and get some really good details, little bugs crawling out from in between the toes. Yeah. All really detailed pimples on the toes and dried up nails.
Spectacular.
No, we won't do that. We're just fucking with
No,
you.
do it.
No.
Yep.
I refuse. Anywho,
Okay,
I'm gonna start this off, right?
All right.
Okay. You guys got like scary stories like of bridges or anything over there? Like if you honk or whatever.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
come and race you. Yeah, it's amazing.
Legends.
Yeah, it's amazing how these urban
there's one that my
everywhere.
father told me that I know.
Let me see if I can find it. So,
Well, I'm starting to think that all these urban legends, like we got one down here called La Llorona. It's called the Weeping Woman. But then you go everywhere else and everybody's kind of got the same story. I'm like, how does this ghost travel so fast? Like some ghosts are just confined to their little houses and stuff like that, and they can't get out of their rooms. But then you got these ghosts of the rivers, and they're international pretty
dude,
much.
it's the internet. They like travel through.
Oh, so you, so
Yeah,
it's where the internet.
Urban legends existed way before the internet.
I know,
So I'm.
but they're able to travel a lot faster now.
Well, yeah.
So that means ghosts are not limited by time and space because of the internet. They travel across the lines.
Yes.
No, I'm serious. Because if that's the case, does it work the same with pheromones? Because you ever notice how like you could talk to someone online, you're like, man, they're cool as hell, and you don't know anything about them, even what they look like, and all of a sudden
That's
you're
because
like,
you're masturbating while you're talking to him.
All of a sudden, it's a dude.
no,
You're like,
only when I talk to you, man.
He's talking about you, dude. That's what he's saying. He was saying you're a cool guy and he wanted to hang out with you, but you ruined it with your feet, with his feet. Oh, it's over. But okay, so you know, people say people talk about these things, but then everybody's all, oh, it's urban legend. It's urban legend. Okay, granted that's true, but then some shit really does happen sometimes, and it makes you wonder. You know, like, for instance, here in Texas, we have these things called the Marfalites. That's not an that is not an urban legend. You can actually really go there, and you can really see those things with your own eyes. That is not made up.
what is it?
What the fuck is a Marfalite?
Nobody knows what they are. Okay, I'll tell you from my own perspective.
I'm not from Texas.
I went there twice, and see, I wish I could give you guys the horror tour, because that's what I would do. I would take you to all these places in West Texas and scare the shit out of you, because it scares the shit out of me. But they say these Marfalites were old Native Americans that got killed, and these lights are looking for all their other relatives and stuff to bring them home to them. I mean, there's a whole bunch of theories on them or whatever. Some people even say that, you know, like when it's summertime and it's really hot and you look off in the distance and you see that mirage, that like mirror-like image, looks like water way out in the distance. Well, people say that that's what it is. Like if you're looking at the mountain and it's bouncing off some kind of light, and it's the cars from the highway coming down, and you see all these lights, and that's what it looks like. It looks like car lights going up and down this mountain. Okay, but it's out in the middle of nowhere, and there's not that much traffic out there. So, I mean, come on, it can't be that. So, I mean, people haven't been able to explain it. And from my experience, I sit out there and I watch like it's like this mountain range, and there's just like this field, like this desert field in front of you, and it's got to go on for about 5-6 miles before it hits this mountain range. And the mountain range, you see all these lights going up and down it, but then if you look off to the side far away, there's a couple of lights on their own just spinning in circles or doing their own thing. You know what I mean? Like I guess they're loners. Nobody likes those Native Americans. They're all by themselves. But I mean, that's something you can really see with your own eyes. That's not no BS. Another thing is the ghost tracks in San Antonio, Texas. They had those on 2020. I guess it was 2020. It was one of those popular news channels or whatever. And what they did is they put talcum powder in the back of their vehicles, and they parked their car in front of this railroad track. And they put their car in neutral, and the car goes by itself on neutral up the track. It looks like it's going up a steep incline, but other people say it's an optical illusion. You're actually going downhill, not uphill. And then you go over the tracks, and then you're to the other side. And then when you get out of the car, you look, and there's these fingerprints. And the legend is a school bus went across that with a bunch of kids, and the school bus got hit. And that's what's there, is the little spirits of the kids that are there. But other people say different things and different stories. I took the funeral out there, and I was like, yeah, whatever. You know, this is crap. And so I put it on neutral, and I'm like, this is a big car. These things aren't going to be able to push my car. Sure enough, it started gaining momentum. Went over the railroad tracks, and then over the side. And it got pretty good speed. I would have said maybe like 10 miles an hour. I mean, that's crazy. And then my car was dirty as shit because I hadn't washed it like all year. I looked in the back. Those little fingerprints were over, where they don't look like fingerprints. Like if you put your fingers down, they look like light scrapes or rubs, but you can't see actual fingerprints. But you could tell they were made by little bitty fingers. And so I was like, okay, so maybe there's ghosts, And we did it a couple of times, and my brother said we needed to stop because we were going to wear these ghosts out. Like, how do you wear ghosts out? I don't know. And the side of my car, there was a full handprint. And I was like, that must have been me. I must have leaned on my car somehow and touched my hands and touched the side of my window with my hand while I was leaning or smoking a cigarette, not thinking about it. So I was like, okay, so I put my hand over the that handprint, and my hand was way bigger than the hand that was on the car. So after that, I was like, all right, I'm down. I believe in ghosts now. So, I hear these legends and stuff like that, and I go out there and I get kind of scared. It's a little bit scary.
You ever notice little kid ghosts are always scarier than normal ghosts?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking, haha, play with me. Fuck you.
And you live right next to a cemetery. That cemetery he lives by is awesome. It surrounds his entire house. And his house is on a hill, and it's a two-story
I'm on the
house.
fucking front line.
We should eat mushrooms and go trip in the cemetery.
I'm telling you, man. I would so do that. But, yeah, when we were little kids, I was like 10. My dad he had bought himself a Harley, and my brother, he bought him a dirt bike. And they enjoyed going cruising from time to time. And I had another brother who was like 11. So my oldest brother had the 11-year-old with him, and my dad, I was on his bike, and we took off, and it became nighttime. Well, my brother and my dad decided to pull off over in this bridge.
Wait, it became nighttime?
And my dad tells my brother that story about if you honk 3 times on the bridge, a car will come out and it'll race you. So my dad honked 3 times, and he tells my brother about that story. So he honks 3 times, and I'm like, don't do it. I'm gonna shit my pants. But he did it anyways. And I'm like, I punched him in the kidney.
Did you shit your pants?
No, but
Why not?
off in the horizon, 2 lights pop out. 2 car lights. Seriously. I'm like, then I shit my pants.
Did they try to race you?
Yes. Our bikes didn't want to start. They stalled. They were like, wong, 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 wong. Wong, 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 wong.
So they sound like a caveman?
No, they sounded like a whore guzzling cup.
That's a lot of cum.
Really? You're familiar with that sound?
Yeah.
Damn.
I've dated quite a few whores.
You drop those bitches. Okay, so finally we got our bikes going, right? And we're all freaking out, and my brother's on the back, go, 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 go! And I'm like, oh, let's go, let's go! And Dad's like, oh, shit! So we take off, and we start hauling ass. And the legend is if the car beats you to town, it takes your soul. So the whole time I was like, I don't want my soul to get taken! I don't want my soul to get taken! My dad's like, shut up, we're gonna make it! And the town's like 15 miles away. So we're hauling ass, and the fastest these bikes would go is like 75, and these lights are catching up to us, and we're like, oh shit. So and we see the town, and I start getting happy. It's like, we're gonna make it, we're gonna make it, we're gonna make it. And the car's like right behind us, and it's just like right there, like all evil looking, all like Christine. And we're just, oh man, it was just like intense as fuck. And all of a sudden they pass, and I didn't see my brother behind us no more. I was like, oh my god, he took my brother's soul. And then it just passed us, and it was a little El Camino. It wasn't even a death car or nothing. And we
You're
lived.
just another Mexican.
It's just another Mexican doing his thing. I don't know what they were doing up. But what is it? I mean, what are the
Hey, you
camps?
fucking kids, get out of the road!
Oh, that's a real good Mexican. I'm gonna do. What are you? A Jew?
A Jew.
What are you? Black? I don't remember what you are.
Gesundheit.
Oh. Jew.
You said a Jew. Ah. Ah.
Now we're gonna get in trouble with the anti-Semite people.
Are they listening?
Probably. Yeah, we have a huge following.
Yeah.
In the Jewish community?
Yeah. Our show is kosher.
Hey, Herschel, I'm over here. They're talking about us.
Hey. Oh, I think I flipped off a rabbi. I'm working at my old job.
You should circle game them.
Yeah. I did do it to one of them.
Well, he's talking about circumcisions.
And there's this one town up in northern Jersey called Lakewood. It's full of nothing but Hasidic Jews, so it's, well, at least 90% of the fucking place. None of them
just want to run up them with scissors and just cut them off just to fuck with them so they get shunned by their own community?
Yeah. But I did get to flip a couple of them off. I did the circle thing to one of them.
But that's Jersey, though. Everybody flips everybody off there.
I got rear-ended by one. So that was my scary story.
Sweet. What about you, Stevie?
I've been looking for something worthwhile. It's just, yeah.
Just weird, kind of scary, unexplained shit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got two of them. They're both quick.
They're both feet related.
No, I got scary feet stories, but I don't want to talk about feet right now. Thanks. There's a scout camp up in kind of like the mountains. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. Like there's a seasonal highway to get up there, so you can't go there in the wintertime. And it's bordered by all this state land, so like nobody's up there ever. Like we had a hard time getting up there ourselves just to get our 4-wheelers and stuff like that up there. And we're up there and we're zipping around through the woods. And there's a story that goes back to like the early 30s when they used to put people that were special like in insane asylums. So there was this big insane asylum out there in Gowanda, New York, and the place started on fire because they everything with candles back then or whatever. So all these people are strapped to their beds because that's what they used to do at night. They just strapped them to beds so they didn't get out, so they didn't fall out. Well, the one guy just wasn't going to take getting there, laying there getting burned to death. So he somehow managed to escape, but the fire was like blocking him in. So he kind of like busted through all the fire and stuff like that, and he's really badly burned. And the place is surrounded by like barbed wire fence and sort of like their concertina wire at the time, and he gets caught up in that, and they send the dogs after him. This poor guy escapes the fire. He's still alive. They send dogs after him. So he was so bad, like so caught up. The legend is that he kind of like either broke or chewed like part of his body, like a hand off maybe or something like that, to get out of it just to escape the dogs, and they never found him after that. So the rumor's like, well, he's still up there somewhere. He could have just died the next day, nobody knows, but whatever. They never found a body. So anyway, we're zipping through the 4-wheeler trails, and there's like a space between the trees where they planted them they were spaced equally apart for like just a real long stretch because it was scenic looking. It kind of goes down this hill. So me and my cousin are zipping along, and all of a sudden, like out of fucking nowhere, this guy steps onto the path and like this, he's got like a red flannel like lumberjack kind of shirt on. He's all by himself, real creepy looking. Like there's no cars anywhere. I mean, no, like I don't know how this guy got up there. He was so far away from anywhere anybody could have possibly came from or even parked from. It was just weird to see him out there. And I don't know, we didn't stop to ask what he was doing there. He just, when you see something like that, it's just real out of place, and it's the kind of horror story beginning that you always imagine, like, oh, we're just driving along the woods, and here comes this guy in a flannel shirt that popped out of nowhere. Like, we weren't stopping. We just zipped past his ass and kept going. But the second story is I was driving down a road in the country, and it's kind of hilly, like out by where I live. It didn't happen where I live, but it was hilly in that way. And just thought there's no, it was like one of those roads where it's just all woods on both sides, and there's no driveways, no like little cabin driveways, nothing. There's just straight trees all the way down. And out of nowhere, like I'm just driving along listening to some music, and out of nowhere there's headlights in my rearview mirror. There was nobody behind me. Nobody. And I thought maybe it was a cop, maybe I was speeding or nothing, but I wasn't. But all of a sudden these lights come on, and this car zips past me, and it gets in front of me and kind of starts to slow down. I'm like, what the hell's going on? This is bad. And all of a sudden he just takes off, and he gets like one hill ahead of me, like where he goes over the hill, I'm maybe like 5 seconds behind him. When I went over the hill too, no car, no roads, no turnoffs, no nothing. Like, with how fast we were both going, there should have been brake lights or something. Even if he cut his lights out, there should have been brake lights. I should have seen something. I should have seen a road, a driveway, but there was nothing. The car just fucking disappeared. That's my stories.
Huh.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yes,
All right, Juice.
Thank you.
All right, Juice, your turn. Tell us your ghost story, you angry animal.
Well, it's not really. Well, my dad used to tell me these little stories about, ghost stories about New York. It'd be like midnight, and I would be like 4. I was like 4 years old. We'd be driving down some old dark road at like 1 o'clock in the morning. He was probably just coming back from a friend's house or something. But he used to use that time to tell me little ghost stories and shit. And one of them was about the vanishing hitchhiker. About you've probably heard it. Anybody from New York or New Jersey probably has heard some variation of the hot girl in distress hitchhiking on the side of the road. You pick her up, you take her into town, she tells you to pull over, you pull over, and then she's gone.
I wonder what would happen if you tried to rape her. Wonder if you could do it.
If you did it quick enough, I guess, while you're driving before you stopped, maybe.
Well, you would, before you got to town, you would pull over to the side. She goes, "Why are you stopping here for?" Come here.
Turns and looks at you like Large Marge from the Pee Wee Herman movie.
Oh, shit.
Tell him Large Marge sent ya.
Oh, man. That would make my balls shrink, but I'd still do it. Still happy.
Another short story is, this is pretty much when I kind of figured out that horror movies were all bullshit, and, at a young age, I watched a lot of horror movies and, easily separated reality from fantasy, unlike some people.
Talking about me? Better not be talking about me.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, sounded like it was,
I don't know,
some people, it sounded like me.
Christians, any religious group of people, anything,
Okay.
anything.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, but
there real quick when you said some people. I was
no, not you guys. Just
just
people.
in general. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't want to have to punch you in the nuts.
Oh, yeah, you get these stupid kids jumping off of cliffs because the cartoon.
You talking about me again? Holy crap, dude. You need to settle down.
Yeah, I forgot you live in the desert, all Wile E. Coyote and shit.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Beep beep. So we're up in New York.
StarCraft.
We're up in New York here, and you know Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Camp Crystal Lake is up here.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah.
We got one in Jersey too
How come
somewhere.
you guys never showed me?
Yeah, that's the one
over
in Jersey. It's not in New York, but it's right
okay.
there in Jersey.
I got you.
I mean, there's a couple other ones that. But anyway, my dad takes me fishing, and it's me, him, and his drunken buddy Tom at the time, and I'm like 4, and we're out on this little tiny fucking plastic rowboat thing. Yeah, a redneck, fishing boat. And they're telling me the story of Jason Voorhees. I didn't see the movie, I didn't know of the movie at the time. I'm 4 years old. It's 1980.
Hell yeah.
81.
Did you have a mullet?
Huh?
Did you have a mullet?
Oh, in fact, the bowl cut. But we're in the boat, and they're fucking telling me about the retard that got dropped in the lake, and the whole story of the kids not paying attention, the retard drowning, and, so I'm buying this. I'm just buying this whole thing. And then, they're just pestering me on it. And a few minutes later, I hear a noise coming from the side of the boat.
Hate that shit.
And another one of their friends jumped up from under the water and scared the living shit out of me.
Oh my god. I can imagine.
And then climbed in the boat. His buddy Bum, they called him Bum, swam in from the shore there just to scare me.
No wonder you don't go outside anymore. Tell them about your reindeer holistic experience. I love that story.
The what? Yeah, this weekend when I was outside playing guitar. I was bored Friday, and so I took my amp and my guitar outside on the porch, and I just wanted to play outside, hear what it sounded like instead of being all in my room here. So I went out, I brought a smoke with me, smoked out there, and I'm sitting there playing guitar, and there's this deer just creeps up behind me, like maybe 10 feet behind me from the porch, just chilling there. So I'm playing guitar, I'm trying to do a couple of jun, see if it'll like scare it off, like dun 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 dun. The deer just flicks his ear and just like, whatever, what's going on, man? And that's pretty much it. Deer just chilled the entire time listening to me play guitar.
Was all with a lighter. Next time he goes out there, there's going to be a shitload of deer out there.
It's just connected to his hoof. He's just holding his hoof up, and it's just lit.
Steve, that's when you should go over there. You should hang out with Juice, and whenever he starts his little deer concert, start nailing him. Pow!
Killed 38 deer this season.
Hell yeah.
Son of a... Just sitting on the porch.
So like all the deer are all like, hey man, you hear about that guy that's like in the forest and jams out real badass, and then like all these deer start dropping dead? It's like, yeah man, that's an awesome concert. I escaped that one. We need to go to that one next time, see who survives. Fuck yeah. They all go with mohawks and shit. Hanging out at the cemetery, all fucking being emo. When's he coming out? I don't know, dude. Just gotta wait. He'll come out eventually. It's awesome.
It's like a Far Side comic, just dear urban legend.
Skeptics are faced with yet another series of weather patterns that support environmentalist theories on global climate change. Weather events in the recent weeks included...
Fuck your climate change.
Oppressive heat waves, devastating droughts, flooding, and giant deluges, and a powerful freak windstorm called derecho are all what scientists say may serve as a preview of what is to come. Man, how long have they been saying that?
I don't think it's global warming. I think our calendar system is just fucked up and everything's off.
See? It's the whole Mayan calendar thing, man. That's what they were talking about. We're just...
Seems like our calendar
baked.
Do what?
The Mayans were always getting baked. They're always killing chickens and fucking getting high. I don't know what the hell's going on.
But listen, like, imagine if they just like stopped making the calendar at one point because they ran out of stuff, because the Spanish probably took over by then. So they didn't have any, like, when the first things the Spanish did was burn all their books because they thought they were like from the devil. Only like a couple of the priests smuggled some of them out. There's only like 4 existing Mayan texts, and that's where they're getting all this information from. That's how they supposedly deciphered this language. But like, imagine they're making the calendars, and then, these Spanish priests come along and say, hey, you guys are all devil worshippers, you gotta stop and become Catholics now because we're here. If you don't, we're just gonna slaughter you anyway. So they stopped making the calendar. Like, I don't put a whole lot of stock in the doomsday theory shit.
I think the calendar was stopped before they showed up.
It could be.
Because they already had this theory and idea that a white-haired savior was going to come and save them. And lo and behold, who shows up? Pizarro, with his white hair and everything. So, because he's all old and shit. So they thought he was going to save
saving him. He just went around fucking all of them.
Well, maybe he
did. Mexicans.
Shut up. That's how we were made.
You are the spawn of Spaniards and devil worshippers.
They were the heathens. They didn't worship the Virgin Mary and drink tea with Jesus. So they weren't Mayans for Jesus. They were Mayans for...
I want to drink tea with Jesus.
Demon Jesus. He's coming back. There are Jesuses out there. There's a few of them. There's one in Russia right now. And then they claim they're Jesus.
What is Jesus doing in Russia?
I don't know. His name is Boris.
It's cold over there.
His name is Boris.
There's one in Russia, there's one in Australia, and there's one in Europe. And they got these little David Koresh-like compounds where everybody comes and worships them.
You should get one of those.
I'm trying, man. Like I said, I got to put in no.
What do you
new
think the
over
podcast
sign.
is for?
Yeah. This is where we get our followers, and then they all go into our church, and then we hold them up and don't let them out, and have the FBI come and nuke the shit out of us.
And I had a vision
Fuck
about you
everyone
once
up.
like that.
Really?
Yeah. Like it was more, I don't know, it was like a very vivid dream that never went away. It happened when I was done at Bragg with you, but like if I close my eyes, it's as real as can be. Like you're in my old church that I grew up in. I was like I
remember that.
It's like Gothic, like real hardcore, everything's marble in it, like church. And back in the day when I was still Catholic, I was an altar boy, so I was always serving mass. I was up there with the priest or whatever. Well, in the meantime, like you had either transplanted this whole church or else just taken over the one in Buffalo here, and you had and when you go to church, like an opening song, but there you are, man, in the center of everything, like on top, like up behind the altar, and you got the robes on and shit, and they're all white, and like there's me, and I can't remember who else, but I know I was at least one altar boy, and you, instead of playing like any kind of religious song, you played Ring of Fire, and you had these people all guarding the outside of the outside of the pews, and like, so it wasn't like a chorus was playing. It's like you had Johnny Cash's tape that you played for me in the funeral the first time, playing that song. And anytime, like, when it came on, like, there was people that were snickering, and you just kind of looked at it. You would look at the guards on each side, like, and you kind of nod your head, like, take them away. And these guys would just haul these people out of the church, and they were never seen from again. But yeah, that was pretty cool, man. You were, like, in charge of, like, this thing. And that's, I think, like, when I was at you, I almost think I have the instant message saved on my old computer where I was like, I'm going to start a cult and we're going to all worship the Dark Mammal. And you're like, tell me more about it. And we went on and on. It was like one of those real late at night, all night conversations that we used to have. I got to dig that up because it was great.
Brothers and sisters, please be seated and open your prayer book to the Book of Wombat. Thou shalt not smite thy brother unless thy brother smites thine in the back.
See, in the first page that you have in part 2, it'll be the circle finger game, and the next page will say these nuts. And
told you, these nuts.
These nuts.
Juice was all talking to me earlier this week about how he hates that.
No, well, it's not that. It's not that. I just thought, the whole topic, the language being weird, how something as small as these nuts, like, before, not mine, but something as silly as these nuts, traveled across from.
It's like the circle hand game, though, man. Like, it never gets told, because as soon as you get the person to say who, you got them, and there's nothing they can do to turn back. They're like, who? And you don't even have to say it. They know it, you know it, you got them. You can say it to exemplify your point, but you got them. It's a verbal circle hand game. So when we prank people, hey, did they call you yesterday? And they'll be like, who? And we'll all chime in, these nuts, and just hang up.
like you had me that other day. You were like, oh, somebody the mutual friend wants to get in touch with you. I'm like, man, I fucking hate everybody. Who could it possibly be? And would I even like them? And you're all like, so I'm
Would you like
okay.
these nuts?
And I'm like, okay, so who is it? And he's, these nuts. I went to go take a shit right after that. Had to get it out of my system. After he said, these nuts, my bowels went, I'm like, all right, I'm out. You asshole. You, I'm going to use this. You headless dick. Yeah. That's mine.
There's so many stories about me like that are just asshole based. Like when you were up here last time, you told like 3 different people the story. Like you told it to my brother at Tracy. I think you told a couple people while we were sitting around doing nothing here about like how I was in the drive-thru at Burger King or something, and I just got promoted.
What a dick! I was so sad that day too.
Here we go. Go ahead, tell everybody else so they can hate me too.
I was sad because I was not getting promoted because my waistline was too big. Fuck these assholes. My waistline would not go down. And, like, I could not run. And I was like, why the fuck do I need to run? I got a weapon in my hand. I'll just go down fighting. I don't need to run. So I was all angry and upset, and everybody was all getting promoted, and I'd already been there, like, way longer than the Wombat's ever been there.
I wasn't getting promoted.
At least that's what it felt like. I mean, I was just there for, like, months and months.
I was getting demoted.
Well, I never got promoted. So I don't know what's better, getting promoted and demoted. But then so, so I'm sad, and then I go to the shopette to go buy a freaking thing of Jack Daniels, a big thing of Jack Daniels, because I was gonna drown myself in it. And right as I was heading out the shopette, Steve's wife hits the brakes right in front of me, and I look to see who was about to run over me. And I see Steve's face, and I didn't even know the dude. And he looks at me, and he picks up his collar and he points at his face, and then looks at me and does his eyebrows all dumb. And I'm like, man, fuck you! I wanted to throw my bottle right at that fucking window and kill the dude. Fucking hate this asshole.
It's incredible how much we used to hate each other, man. And we're still friends. I can't believe it. It's just amazing.
What a dick. It's awesome.
I don't remember doing that, but it sounds like something I would do.
But you know what? My whole time growing up, I never had any friends because I grew up in this small town and nobody liked me because I was weird and just off, and I wasn't listening to whatever they were listening to at the time. What was it? Boys to Men and all that shit.
ABC, BBD.
Yeah, all that stuff. I wasn't listening to any of that. I was listening to heavy metal, so I was a son of Satan and I was a devil worshiper because it's all Catholic in this city, right? So I'm like, man, I don't have any friends. And then I went to go to college and I failed at that, and everything was just a big failure. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I might as well just go into the world, 2000, join the military, and be right there in the front lines and get killed right there. Let's do it. So I went. And it was awful. Basic training was badass. I made a whole bunch of cool friends there. I made a guy that looked like Eminem before Eminem was even Eminem. And, I met this guy who was in the Masons, and he was all telling me about the Masons and all that stuff, and that was some crazy shit right there too. He made friends with drill sergeants because they were in the Masons too, which was kind of weird to me. That was kind of strange. So the whole time I'm just having rotten luck, and then I meet Steve, and then we start becoming friends, and he starts treating me really, really nice, and I'm like, why? Why is he treating me good? I don't understand. And he just keeps at it, and I start getting more paranoid and more paranoid. And he's like, yeah, why don't you come over to my house, man, and we'll party. I was like, man, if I go to this house, man, they're just gonna beat me up or something. They're just gonna pour beer all over my head, which is what Douglas fucking did when I went to go hang out at V's house when they invited me. But yeah, I went over there to Steve's, and everybody was cool with me, and I didn't know how to socialize with people. I didn't know how to talk to them because I didn't know. I was afraid that the first words that were going to come out of my mouth were going to be something that was going to offend somebody, or it was going to be something that was just going to label me as a freak. Well, more times than not, it did, but then I would hang out with Steve, and I would say something, and he'd be like, that's cool, man. I'm like, shut up. That's not, it's weird. He's like, no, it's not. And then we just started hanging out more and more. And then he would come to my barracks and actually hang out with me. And I was like, wow, I got a friend. That's cool. I never had a friend before. I like this guy. I mean, I did, but they would always ditch me or leave or whatever. So one time I was playing Legend of Zelda, and Steve was in there. And I don't know what I did or what I said, but he just left. And I was his ride. And he just took off, and I was like, oh well, whatever. It doesn't bother me none. Because, that's what I was used to. I was used to people behaving like that around me or whatever. And then the more and more we became friends, I did that to him too. I was staying at his place, and he was my ride, and I just took off. I just went walking back to my barracks. He was like, we woke up in the morning, we didn't see you anywhere. I was like, I got you. That was awesome. But that's my story.
Yeah, man. It's the one time I was having a party in my house, but everybody had already been drinking for a few hours. So you knocked on the door. I'm like, come on in. And you're like, you came in and you had your cane. You walked maybe 2 steps, and I was just joking around. I was like, I pretended to spit. I was like, that is what I think of your people. And you're like, okay. And you just turned around and walked out. I figured, okay, he's gonna wait outside for a minute. I'll go get him. I walked out 30 seconds later. No car, no mammal, no nothing. He was just gone. I'm like, fuck. I was only kidding. He took off, and I was all worried that I don't know.
I was fucking with you.
It worked.
That was awesome. And then I met Matt, and he was hanging out with this guy named Holland.
Oh, God. Yeah.
They were best friends. It was him, Holland, and Giannini. They were like an exclusive club. And I was like,
we were fucking effort heads.
I was like, I like Matt. I like him. I don't know why he's hanging out with these people. He needs to be hanging out with us.
Because I was a fucking tool. Not that I was. I mean, I am. That's no big deal.
Now you're our tool. Now we get to use you for our purposes.
Exactly.
The Book of Matt. And then we took off to Florida and bonded, and he got to meet my dad.
Yeah,
and my dad
was full of shit.
And then I got kicked out of a club.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I've never got kicked out of a club before. I actually got picked up and thrown out of the club. That was amazing. Oh, I just threw a big fart.
Yeah, I don't remember much of the army. I was either fucking tripping my balls off or drunk as hell.
Yeah. I was with you that one night, man. We went to a restaurant, and you were tripping your balls off when you were eating like nachos or something. You just kept staring off at the glasses that were hanging up above the bar and laughing. And I was like, man, I can't leave here. I just got to stay.
Yeah. Told you I should have fucking went to college first.
No, the army's a good place to party. You just got caught. You were hanging out with some idiots, and they were just, I don't know, man.
Dime me out while I was on vacation, bitches.
I know, man. Doesn't that suck? Didn't even see.
At least, I mean, I came back and I had to face the music eventually. I was like, fuck it, what the hell? Let's get this over with.
I can't believe how abundant acid was over there, though. Like, it was just like every weekend somebody was doing something. Is that guy jerking off? I already threw the bear. Look at my dude. He's
trying
like
to blow himself.
I know.
Like,
real funny, Steve. Real funny with the tumbleweed, Steve. Real funny. Racist.
Man, I don't know how many times a day you call me that, but it's getting old. We're gonna fight.
Why?
I don't know. Like, you just say it to fuck with me, but like, man, it's old. Every time I say something, racist. What? I'm like, hey man, it's really nice outside today. Fucking racist. What?
Racist. You said it back. I only do it because you do it.
I like Gatorade. Yeah, fuck.
Racist.
He'll be like, what color? And I'll be like, blue. Racist.
You started it because I don't like dwarfs, and you were all like, racist.
Yeah, Smurfs ever come to you?
You are racist against dwarfs, man. And I'm telling you that, Matt, you can attest to this. Our dwarves the best, like, ever.
Maybe in Warcraft, but not in real life.
Everywhere.
Dwarves are greedy.
I would have sex with a dwarf.
Well, I didn't say I wouldn't. I'm just saying they're greedy. They always take your money. My brother's a dwarf. He's all like, all right, check this out. I'm afraid when I move, cause I'm moving by the end of the week. When I move, I'm gonna need a ride back to the place that I'm moving to after I drop off the U-Haul. So I don't have very many options because it's during work hours. So I have to call my brother and get a ride from him. And I already know he's gonna charge me for the ride, like a taxi.
Oh, nice.
Isn't that?
Yeah, what a dick.
Yeah, then he runs around and wonders why he doesn't got any buddies. Anywho.
Get out.
Well, this is it for the show. Like, I don't know. Maybe because I fucking hate you. I don't know.
For this week, Mammal After Dark, the MADCAST.